at night. Why won't you let me in? Why won't you let me understand you? Why won't you let me in? Baby, just take my hand and can you let me sing you a lullaby? And maybe then you let me in tonight.
I've been cooking up a playlist, 'cause I don't know how I could say this. If love was a subject in school, could it measure in communication? Feelings, I don't wanna, they won't show. But when it's time to sleep, you get emotional.
Can you let me sing you a lullaby? And maybe then you let me in tonight. Got a bouquet. When will you try to be okay? Got a bouquet. When will you try to be okay? Got a bouquet. When will you try to be okay? Got a bouquet. When will you try to be okay?
I think my worst problem is I'm like super involved with a bunch of activities, so I can never find time for anything. So instead of sleeping, I'll sacrifice my sleep time to make sure everything gets done. And then I'll get home from school and be super tired, and I'll try to lay down for just like 30 minutes, and I'll end up sleeping for like 2 hours because I feel like I just physically cannot get up.
I was a bellman at a hotel, and they had me at back-to-back shifts. They had, night shift, day shift, and I fell asleep at the wheel. That's how I discovered I actually have narcolepsy. Narcolepsy is not the same thing as cataplexy. Cataplexy is where someone has an extreme emotional state and they suddenly pass out. Narcolepsy for me just means that it's like a low-grade fatigue pretty much all the time. So on average, I generally feel like I've gotten less sleep than I have. And it only gets worse when I change up my sleep schedule. So it took that to teach me how important a sleep schedule is.
I pull all-nighters all the time. It is unhealthy. I get that it's hard to get sleep. You have school going on, you have your family, chores, anything else. If you have a job, God, and you do volunteer work, there's so much that you can have that will keep you up at night.
Now I have a cat that is old, and she will wake me up twice. She's not doing well health-wise, so if she's waking me up and she wants to be fed, then I will get up, spend time with her, feed her, but that wakes me up to where it takes me a full hour to actually try to fall back to sleep. And sometimes it happens twice a night.
I tend to wake up a lot in the middle of the night. I'm not sure why that is exactly. My phone, like my ringer is off and everything. I'm not exactly sure. But I think it's important to get a lot of sleep because, at least for me personally, when I don't, I can tell a difference in my mental health and just not only how I feel like physically energized or like physically energy-wise, but how I feel mentally.
So I think like we got there and I was already passed out in the car, and she nudged me up, my mom, and we went to church. And we sat down in the pew, and that's all I could remember. Like I woke up and it was like 1 or 2 o'clock and the sermon was over. And my mom said like I was on camera because the church records the sermons. So there might be like a video out there or something of me just conked out, or the pastor might have roasted me for it or something, I don't know. But like I was just out for I think like 5-6 hours straight in public, I think snoring, just out.
I was basically a hardcore gamer that eventually altered my sleep schedule to where I was nocturnal. The first day I was on a gaming binge, and then I was trying to sleep in for the night, but I wasn't able to fall asleep. My mind was just too active. The next day I tried to sleep again, but I was so tired that my eyes were like really hurting, and I wasn't able to sleep because I was in too much pain. And then on the third day, I could barely remember anything other than I was awake, and I eventually crashed. But I do vaguely remember that I was almost blacking out, and it was just really bad for me. I wasn't able to fix it. It took me probably over 2 years before I could like go back to normal.
Sometimes I work, and then getting off work, I don't get home till like 10 or 11, so then I don't really get into bed till close to midnight or 1 o'clock. And I wake up in the morning feeling drained. It doesn't really hit me towards closer, like to the middle, towards the end of the day, but I just feel exhausted, and then having to work again, and then getting home late. It's just a cycle. Like I just feel like I never can catch up on my sleep.
Whenever I'm sleep deprived, I get really emotional. It's like the sensitivity is turned up to 10. So it's almost like, fatigue makes you focus less, but it almost makes me focus more on the things that don't matter. So I can't prioritize when I'm overtired. I really can't.
I like to take time out of school to do things that I enjoy more, and then I find I'll be doing in the future. But then that causes me to spend more time on homework, and it keeps me up because homework takes a long time, but so do the things that I actually like to do. So there's just like compromises that I have to make.
Night.
Good night.
Deuces.
Good night.
Magandang gabi, mahal kita.
Good nitrogen.
Good night.
Good night.